controversial issue, but City Manager Sam Sutherland will speak with council members regarding the transfer of Branch Rickey Park, Spartan Municipal Stadium, and the fields west of the stadium, including the softball field, giving those to Shawnee State University. Now, as part of a potential agreement, SSU has agreed to allow the use of the facilities as long as that use does not interfere with collegiate functions. The proposal has been on the table for 8 months to this point, and now will be in the hands of City Council members. Tonight's council meeting will begin at 6 p.m. with a live stream available on the Portsmouth City Government's Facebook page. Meanwhile, a new investigation by the Better Business Bureau finds scammers are increasingly targeting their victims via text messages. Melissa Andrews has details.
The Bureau says text-based scams nearly doubled last year, reaching an all-time high of more than 9,000. It says scammers often use phishing techniques involving cryptocurrency fraud or impersonating the government and tech support. The BBB says do not click on links in an unexpected email or text message. If something sounds suspicious or generic, call the company directly. Ignore calls for immediate action and be wary of requests to pay via wire transfer or prepaid debit card.
And in some welcome news, Ohio will host its annual Free Fishing Days on June 15th and 16th. Now, during these days, residents can fish without a license in any public waterway, including Lake Erie, the Ohio River, and other public lakes and streams. Governor Mike DeWine has highlighted this event as an opportunity for families to enjoy the outdoors together. Now, this weekend, Ohioans age 16 and older can fish for free, an activity that usually requires a license. The aim is to encourage more people, to explore Ohio's natural resources. Although no license is needed, all other fishing rules such as size limits and bag limits will still apply. And in some horrific news, at least 44 horses are dead after a barn caught fire over the weekend in Logan County. Firefighters were called to Brant Performance Horses shortly after 12 noon, and when crews arrived, they saw a 60,000-square-foot barn fully engulfed. Multiple area fire departments were called in to assist battling the fire. As of last night, it was reported that 44 horses had been killed. The number may change as recovery efforts are made. One person was injured and taken to a local hospital for treatment. They were later transferred to the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. Their condition was unknown as of this morning. For Mix 99.3 News, I'm Bill Shope.
Well, Bill, welcome to the big holiday today, which we need to celebrate, which is Ballpoint Pen Day.
They're still usable, absolutely.
Sure they are. I got a bunch of them right here.
Yeah.
Ballpoint pen. Well, what would we do without a ballpoint pen? Would all be using number 2 pencils, I guess? What?
Could be. Or could be using the Bic 4-color pen.
Yes. But today actually was the application of the ballpoint pen, June 10th, and when it was submitted. And you take a look at what the pen has done over the years, man. I think it's kind of revolutionized communication a bit, don't you?
It did, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's shown no signs of slowing down because you can go to the bank and steal some really good ones. And with millions made and sold worldwide, they've inked their way into our history and hearts. So, again, June 10th today, why not pick up a pen and let your creativity flow?
Absolutely. Yeah. I use one every day.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I love about ballpoint pens is everybody can use one, everybody in all sectors of life, and especially it's important to doctors,
So they can write their name?
So they can scribble their name, but, my doctor one day, this is kind of funny, he was going about his business, and he came in to check on me because I was in one of the little rooms having a checkup.
Right.
And I looked up, and he had a rectal thermometer behind his ear. And I kept, looking at it. I didn't want to say anything. So finally, I said, hey, Doc, I just got to ask you this question. How come you have that rectal thermometer behind your ear? And he looked kind of funny, and he reached up and grabbed it, and he goes, oh, man, somebody got my pen. Yeah, and that's just to show you how they've ingrained themselves into our civilization.
And that's why they were walking funny.
Yeah, the ballpoint pen. Ladies and gentlemen, celebrate.
Today is June 10th, Ballpoint Pen Day. No single invention has had such a revolutionary impact on the way we write quite like the ballpoint pen. And that's something to chew on, which would explain these bite marks on my Bic. Ballpoint Pen Day.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. John Voight's teeth marks, by the way.
That's right. Helps sell a car.
Yeah, all right. This update brought to you this morning by Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates. Dr. Inashita, Dr. Jaffrey with the Care, Compassion, Roadmap to Your Recovery begin. For over 30 years, Dr. Inashita and his staff at Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates have been changing lives with the most comprehensive treatment and cure for cancer in the area. During this time in Portsmouth, Dr. Inashita has created a name of patient excellence in the highest degree and will continue that fight with each and every patient towards the cure. Dr. I, as he's known by his thousands of friends, is proud to announce the addition of Dr. Hassan Jaffrey to the staff of Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates. Dr. Jaffrey's medical expertise is with all cancers as well as treatment of blood disorders, bone marrow, and the immune system. Together, Dr. Inashita and Dr. Jaffrey create a very special team that's there when it comes to fighting back to regain your good health. Feel free to stop in and welcome Dr. Jaffrey to the staff at 916 11th Street or call 353-4884. It's Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates of Portsmouth, always there with the care, the compassion, and the roadmap to your recovery. And good morning, 737. Downtown got sunshine, 62, and ONN.
This is ONN. I'm Jay Fox on the Ohio News Network. Ohio has now tied the record for tornadoes in a single year. The Cincinnati Enquirer reports that the number of tornadoes per year since 2010 is double that of the previous 50 years. They also suggest that new technology makes it easier to identify tornadoes, and that might account for the increase. Some teens in Toledo are in some hot water. Melissa Andrews with ONN affiliate WTOL TV reports.
Two juveniles are accused of throwing rocks at several Springfield local school buses. 9 buses were vandalized to the point that they were undrivable. Both suspects were caught on camera at the Springfield Transportation Department, causing nearly $30,000 in damage. Police identified those suspects and resolved the issue. It is unclear what charges they will face.
A Central Ohio playground was accidentally torn down last week. Kristen McFarland with ONN affiliate WBNS-TV has more about what happened at Wineland Park.
The city of Columbus says a Columbus City Schools contractor demolished it by accident when trying to demolish a smaller playground nearby. The city says the contractor has taken full responsibility and is replacing it with a brand new playground for free. Construction on the new playground is expected to take several months.
For the Ohio News Network, I'm Jay Fox.
And thank you, Jay. It's time now once again for sports, brought to you this morning by Call Your Medical, and they're easy to find, 1661 State Route 522. Don't forget, Call Your Leasing also offers equipment rental as well, too. As over the weekend, well, we kind of scrape it together on our Monday visits and tell you everything that happened. But again, our best to the mighty Minford Falcons. They gave it a great run this season, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did, and you know, they got hot at the right time.
They did, yeah.
You know, at the start of the postseason, I don't know how many people thought that Minford would be playing in the state tournament, but we had several baseball teams really seem to peak at the right time. Of course, Minford and Portsmouth met in a regional final to decide which of those two would go to the state's Final Four, and Minford got that win. The Falcons returned to the state tournament over the weekend for the first time since 2018 and represented themselves quite well. Unfortunately, we didn't get the outcome that we were all hoping for, but Minford put up a really good fight in a 4-0 loss to Millbury Lake in a Division III state semifinal played at Canal Park in Akron on Saturday morning, and then Millbury Lake turned around and fell to Heath yesterday in the state championship game 3-1. But anytime you make it all the way to the state tournament and appear in the Final Four, you're doing something right. That's a good season.
Yeah, they were close games. I mean, really, four runs, and then, of course, a lot of good. You get to that point, too, and your best of the best as far as pitching rises to the top. So you got some pretty good guys out there that can throw that aspirin tablet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And typically you see the best in the state semifinals because there's a lot of baseball teams around the country that can be good every other game, but you've got to have two pitchers to be able to get all the way, and two very, very good pitchers. And I'm assuming that probably Minford and Millbury Lake threw their best on Saturday, because if you don't win on Saturday, Sunday wouldn't have mattered. So, yeah, I'm sure Minford saw the best that Millbury Lake had to offer up.
All right. Good season, guys, as we move on. And the Reds had a pretty good weekend, too. Here's Chuck with more.
They really did. Even though the Reds lost yesterday's battle, Cincinnati's been winning a lot of wars as of late. The Cubs defeated Cincinnati 4-2 yesterday, but even though the Reds had their 7-game win streak snapped in yesterday's contest, they still had a phenomenal weekend, taking 3 out of 4 from Chicago. Cincinnati got down early in yesterday's contest. It was 4-0 after the first 2 innings, and the Reds just couldn't dig out of that hole. But Cincinnati did have a few bright spots. Luke Maley had a home run. Santiago Espinal wound up with a couple of hits. Frankie Montas took the loss to drop to 3-5. The Reds are now 32-34, just 2 games below 500, which is amazing when you think back to a week and a half ago. The Reds were 10 games under 500. Cincinnati has climbed out of the cellar in the NL Central standings and is now in a 3-way tie for second place with the Cubs and Cardinals. They all trail the Brewers by 6.5 games. The Cleveland Guardians doubled up on the Miami Marlins 6-3 yesterday. Cleveland took 2 out of 3 from Miami to win that weekend series. The Guardians sit atop the American League Central as they have a 4-game lead over the Royals. Both the Reds and Guardians will have today off. They'll play each other tomorrow evening in Cincinnati. That'll be a 7:10 first pitch. In minor league baseball news, the Chillicothe Paints are off to a 7-3 start. The Paints won 2 out of 3 over the weekend. They fell to Champion City on Friday 9-8. The Paints then defeated Rex Baseball 13-5 on Saturday. Chillicothe turned around and knocked off Rex again yesterday 18-6. The Paints' next game will be Wednesday at home against the Johnstown Millrats. The first pitch will be at 7:05. We had mentioned that Minford's baseball team competed in the state tournament over the weekend. The weekend prior, Minford sophomore Peyton Cottle ran at the state's track and field meet. The Minford sophomore wound up placing in 2 events. He finished 6th in the 100-meter dash and 8th in the 200-meter dash in Division II. Peyton Cottle wound up all academic, all Ohio for track and field. Staying with area high school track and field news, at the state track and field meet a couple weekends ago, Oak Hill's Garrett McKinnis wound up 5th in the 100-meter dash in Division III. Congrats to both of those guys. Last night in the NBA Finals, the Celtics downed the Mavs 105-98 to take a 2-0 series lead. Game 3 will shift to Dallas, and that will be on Wednesday. The PGA Tour was in Dublin, Ohio over the weekend at Muirfield Village. Scotty Scheffler won the Memorial Tournament. He finished at 8 under, 1 stroke better than Colin Morikawa. Kyle Larson won yesterday's NASCAR Cup race at the Sonoma, California road course. Rounding out the top 5 were Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott, and Ross Chastain. The Cup Series will race at Iowa this coming weekend. And Game 2 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals will be tonight at 8 o'clock as the Oilers visit the Panthers. Florida took Game 1 on Saturday, 3-0. Your Portsmouth Insurance Sports Time is 7:44. Portsmouth Insurance is a TAH benefits partner. Call Gary Duzan for all of your employee benefit needs. And that is a look at sports.
And thank you, Chuck. This update brought to you by Collier Medical, and they're at 1661 State Route 522, offering occupational medicine, too, with Jamie Reynolds. We got traffic, weather together coming up.
Collier Medical in Wheatersburg offers occupational medicine with nurse practitioner Jamie Reynolds. Collier Company has closed its primary care to focus on the occupational needs of businesses in the tri-state, offering drug screens, pre-employment and DOT physicals, as well as medical surveillance, respirator fit, and audiometric testing. Whether you're an employee or an employer needing occupational medical services, go with the convenience of Collier Medical, 1661 State Route 522, Wheatersburg. Scheduling an appointment is recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Call 740-574-8728 and be on the lookout for Call Your Home Medical coming soon.
And your traffic, a service of your good friends at the east side of the river, 1024 Gallia Street. And, of course, they're there with those legendary steaks, chicken ribs, and more. They'll have them for you at 11. And this morning we've got nothing going on as far as any accidents go, which is always good. We've got Junior Furnace, Powellsville Road in Green Township. Now, want to pass along, this is going to be closed day and night beginning June 17th. Giving you a little heads up on that until July the 5th because they're putting in drainage improvement there. And elsewhere, we've got, again, no accidents to report. If you see something, give us a call at 354-1993. Traffic is service of the side of the river, open 7 days a week.
Weather, a service of the Scioto County Career Technical Center, where you can begin your career as a certified pharmacy technician. Financial aid is available for those who qualify. For more information, call 740-259-5526 or visit sciototech.org.
Your first alert forecast from WSAZ. Sunny for a while today, comfortable temperatures in the 70s, but we will be tracking a line of clouds and a few isolated showers late in the day. Those fade overnight tonight and skies clear back down to the 50s to start your Tuesday. Beautiful sunshine ahead there. Still some comfort, temperatures in the 70s.
I'm WSAZ News Channel 3 meteorologist Brandon Butcher on the Ohio Valley's hit music channel, Mix 99.3.
Yeah, downtown right now. Sunshine we got, 62.